Time is the one thing you will never get back. Every second that passes is gone forever. Yet, most people act as if they have an unlimited supply. They scroll endlessly, procrastinate on their goals, and let distractions control their lives. If this sounds like you, then listen carefully, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to take control of your time and start living with purpose. But before we begin, don't forget to like and subscribe to help our journey. Your support means everything, and trust me, you want to watch this till the end. Number 1, the illusion of later. One of the biggest lies people tell themselves is, I'll do it later. Later becomes tomorrow. Tomorrow becomes next week. And before you know it, years have passed, and you're still in the same place. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, reminded himself daily, you could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think. Think about this. How often have you delayed something important? Maybe you've wanted to start a business, improve your health, or read more books. But instead of acting, you keep pushing it to later. The problem is later never comes. A real-life example is the story of someone who keeps saying they'll get in shape next month. Months go by, and they still haven't started. Then years later, they realize they wasted their prime years being unhealthy and out of shape. To break this cycle, apply the 5-second rule. The moment you think of something important, count down from 5 and take action. This removes hesitation and forces you to do what matters now. The longer you wait, the more you train your brain to procrastinate. Act now or regret it later. Number 2, comfort is your biggest enemy. Most people waste time because they are addicted to comfort. They choose Netflix over knowledge, scrolling over self-improvement, and excuses over execution. But comfort is a slow poison. It feels good now but destroys your future. Seneca warned against this, saying, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." Think of a person who spends every evening playing video games instead of working on a side hustle. They might feel happy in the moment, but deep down, they know they're wasting their potential. Years later, they see others succeeding while they're still stuck. This doesn't mean you should never relax. It means you should be intentional. Instead of mindless entertainment, choose mindful recovery. Take breaks with purpose. Exercise, read, or engage in deep conversations. The best way to escape the comfort trap? Make discomfort your new normal. Wake up early, take cold showers, push yourself daily. The more you get comfortable with discomfort, the stronger you become. Your future self will thank you for every moment you resisted comfort and chose growth instead. Number 3, social media, the greatest time thief. How many hours do you lose every day mindlessly scrolling? Social media is designed to steal your attention, keeping you hooked on endless dopamine hits. It makes you compare yourself to others, waste time watching pointless videos, and distracts you from real goals. Epictetus warned, if you wish to improve, be content to appear clueless or stupid in extraneous matters. Imagine 2 people. One spends hours watching TikTok consuming random content. The other limits their screen time and uses that time to learn skills, work on passions, and improve their mindset. After a year, one person has grown and the other is stuck. A practical solution? Set time limits. Use apps like Freedom or Stay Focused to block distractions. Replace scrolling with structured learning. Instead of watching random videos, watch something educational, listen to a podcast, or read a book. If you don't control your attention, someone else will. Every hour you waste is an hour stolen from your future success. Number 4, the power of saying no. Wasting time isn't just about distractions. It's also about how you spend your time. Most people say yes to everything. Pointless hangouts, unproductive meetings, energy-draining conversations. But every yes you give to something useless is a no to something valuable. Marcus Aurelius understood this deeply, writing, "Don't waste what's left of your life in speculation about others." Think about people who agree to every invitation, every favor, and every meaningless activity. They end up exhausted, having spent their time on things that don't move them forward. Meanwhile, the most successful people guard their time like their life depends on it, because it does. A real example? Warren Buffett, one of the richest men in the world, credits much of his success to saying no to almost everything that doesn't align with his goals. Start practicing the essentialist mindset. Before committing to something, ask yourself, is this truly important? Will this matter in 5 years? If not, say no. Protect your time fiercely. Your time is your life. Spend it wisely or waste it foolishly. Number 5, leave as if you were dying. What if you had only 1 year left to live? Would you still waste time? Or would you make every second count? The truth is, none of us know how much time we have left. Yet, people live as if they're immortal, postponing dreams, avoiding risks, and delaying happiness. Steve Jobs, before his death, famously said, "Remembering that you are going to die is the best way I know to avoid the trap of thinking you have something to lose." Many people only realize the value of time when it's too late. The person who wasted their 20s partying and procrastinating suddenly wakes up in their 40s full of regrets. The person who spent years in a toxic relationship realizes too late that they could have left earlier and built a better life. Stop waiting for the perfect time. It doesn't exist. Take action on your goals today. Start the project, say what needs to be said, and stop living on autopilot. Live with urgency. Live with intention. Live as if your time is running out, because it is. Number 6, stop romanticizing being busy. Most people confuse being busy with being productive. They fill their schedules with endless tasks, constantly rush from one thing to another, and feel exhausted at the end of the day. But being busy is not the same as making progress. Marcus Aurelius once said, "If you seek tranquility, do less." Or more accurately, do what's essential. Look around, and you'll see people who are always too busy. They claim they don't have time to exercise, read, or work on personal projects. Yet, they somehow find hours for mindless meetings, social media, or meaningless small talk. They mistake activity for achievement. A real example? Consider the employee who spends their entire day answering emails, sitting in meetings, and checking notifications. By the end of the day, they feel exhausted but haven't actually accomplished anything that moves them forward. Meanwhile, someone who focuses on deep, meaningful work for just 3 hours gets more done than others do in 10. The solution? Prioritize high-impact tasks. Follow the Pareto principle. 80% of your results come from 20% of your actions. Cut out the fluff and focus on what truly matters. Instead of trying to do more, do less, but do it better. Number 7, regret is worse than hard work. People avoid discipline because they think it's hard. They don't want to wake up early, push through challenges, or put in consistent effort. But here's the truth. Discipline is hard, but regret is much harder. Seneca once said, "It's not that life is short, but that we waste much of it." Think about it. Right now, it may feel painful to exercise, to wake up early, to focus on work instead of scrolling your phone. But do you know what's more painful? Looking back years later and realizing you wasted your potential. Imagine someone who had big dreams but never took action. They always had excuses. "I'm too tired. I don't have time. I'll start next month." Years go by, and they see others achieving what they wanted. Regret hits them like a storm. They realize they could have been successful if they had just pushed through discomfort. The solution? Choose your pain. The pain of discipline lasts for moments, but the pain of regret lasts forever. Start today, even if it's uncomfortable. The hardest part is always the beginning. After that, it becomes a habit. Number 8, who you spend time with determines your future. You are a reflection of the people around you. If you spend your time with lazy, unmotivated, and negative people, you will become just like them. Epictetus put it simply, avoid associating with people who share their negative habits with you. Look at the 5 people you interact with the most. Are they pushing you to grow, or are they dragging you down? If you're surrounded by procrastinators, complainers, and people who waste time, it's only a matter of time before you do the same. A real example? Imagine two students. One is in a circle of ambitious, disciplined people who study, work on their goals, and stay focused. The other spends time with people who party every weekend, procrastinate on their studies, and laugh at self-improvement. 5 years later, one is successful, and the other is struggling. The solution? Audit your circle. Spend time with people who challenge you, inspire you, and push you to be better. If you don't have those people around you yet, consume content from great minds, books, podcasts, videos. Surround yourself with greatness, and you will become great. Number 9, replace consumption with creation. Most people are consumers, not creators. They spend their time watching videos instead of making them, reading articles instead of writing them, and buying products instead of building businesses. Marcus Aurelius emphasized this, saying, "Don't waste time arguing what a good man should be." Be one. Ask yourself, are you just consuming content all day, or are you creating something valuable? People who waste time often spend hours every day absorbing other people's work without ever producing anything themselves. A real example? Think of someone who dreams of starting a YouTube channel, but spends years just watching others instead of making their first video. Meanwhile, someone else starts with bad videos, learns from experience, and improves. 5 years later, one has built a career, and the other is still thinking about it. The solution? Adopt the 90-10 rule. Spend 90% of your time creating and only 10% consuming. Instead of just watching, start writing, start building, start producing. Create more than you consume, and you will stand out. Number 10, take full responsibility for your time. Most people blame their circumstances for wasting time. They say things like, "I don't have enough free time. My job is too demanding. I'll start when I have more resources." But here's the truth. You are responsible for how you use your time. No one else. Epictetus put it bluntly. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Think of someone who has the same 24 hours as you, but gets more done. They might have a full-time job, responsibilities, and challenges, but they still make time for what matters. Why? Because they take ownership of their time instead of making excuses. A real example? J.K. Rowling wrote the first Harry Potter book as a struggling single mother, writing in cafes while raising her child. She could have made excuses, but instead, she used every spare moment to create something extraordinary. The solution? Track your time. Write down how you spend every hour of your day for a week. Identify the waste, eliminate the distractions, and take control. No one is going to save your time for you. It's your responsibility. Time is your most valuable asset, and wasting it is the biggest mistake you can make. Stop making excuses, stop procrastinating, and start living with urgency. Prioritize what truly matters. Surround yourself with the right people, create more than you consume, and take full responsibility for every second of your life. If this video helped you, don't forget to like and subscribe to help our journey. And remember, you can either waste time or use it to build the life you want. The choice is yours.